Hey guys, so as promised, I've put together a guide for the upcoming Summer Majors Tour, which begin qualifications on Monday, August 17th. This is a tournament that I highly encourage that everybody tries to enter because it is a major tour, which means that there's only 4 of these a year. And what Playdemic does is, depending on where you end up in the weekend round, everything's doubled. So it's like playing 2 tournaments in one. You get double the amount of clan points, club cards, balls, etc. So, do your best in entering. Hopefully you can, and try to do your best. So, and hopefully this video will help you to get to that, to score a low score. So please enjoy and provide me with any feedback. Let me know what you thought, and let me know if the guide has helped at all, and if there's any additional information that I could provide. So without further ado, please enjoy. So for hole number 1, I have chosen to use a power 3 ball and am playing to the right. Now, as always mentioned, there's always more than one way to play this shot. I like playing it to the right, not so much because of the first shot, because actually the first shot's a little more difficult. You really do have to overpower the ball to make sure that you clear the water. But the issue is more on the second shot, which, by the way, you will see that if you've ever played this particular hole before, Playdemic has moved the sand bunkers. So the sand bunkers will be in play if you do play it to the left. This particular shot leaves you with a decent opportunity for an eagle, which is what you want to go for. And as I've mentioned before, par 4s are really where you want to get the ball as close to the green as possible, so that the probability of getting an eagle increases for you. Now, right now, as you can see, this shot, you're clear of, or at least you're safe from the sand bunkers, where taking it from the left would put you right there. So one thing I do suggest is the backbone, or if the Grizzly, if it's upgraded to at least a level 6. Otherwise, you can also use the Saturn, because they've got a decent amount of backspin, so that you're not overshooting the hole. And now in this particular shot, I did not get an eagle, but I still did obviously want to show the hole, because it does put you in a decent place, at least for a safe birdie. So for hole number 2, I am using a sniper and a Kingmaker ball. Now, I'm not using the Kingmaker so much as for power as I am for wind resistance and side spin. And as you can see, the way that I am setting up this shot, I am using 2 bars of backspin and 2.5 bars of side spin. And despite that, I'm still pulling the ball a little bit. You'll see that I'll pull the ball a little bit to the right. I'll curl the ball a little bit to the right. Now, I wanted to take a quick still shot here of where I'm lining up the actual drop. And as you can see, I'm using the white line as my guide at the edge of the sand bunker, and the blue line right at the edge of the fringe. This is a decent location to drop this ball. Again, obviously using 2 bars of backspin and 2.5. I would even say in this shot, if you're not comfortable with curling it, use 3 bars of side spin to the right. And again, a lot of this shot has to do with just luck, because unfortunately, especially if you have an underdeveloped sniper, your ball guide just isn't there. But as you can see, based on the way that I took the shot, it did come in pretty closely. So if you've ever played this hole before, you'll know that this is all about distance. So if you are able to take out your big guns, I would strongly recommend a power 5 ball. And if you've got it, the big topper. The big topper is not as strong as the extra mile as far as distance, but it does provide you with a lot of forward spin, so it allows the ball to be carried a lot longer. And the intent of this is to set your first shot up close enough to the green so that you are able to comfortably get onto the green on 2. So on this second shot, I am using the big dog. And the bad thing about the big dog, it doesn't have a lot of ball guide. So you got to be careful with taking the shot and that you don't overpower it. So what I'm doing in this particular shot is I'm using that curve that the green has to roll into toward the hole. And I'm using 2 to 3 bars of backspin to make sure that I don't overshoot this shot. But really, if you are this close to the green, it is going to be able to provide you with a decent, or an easy rather, an easy eagle. If you don't have a a power 5 ball, at minimum a power 4 is strongly recommended for this shot. So for hole number 4, I'm providing 2 different ways that you can play this hole, either to the right or to the left. And this first shot is being played towards the right. Now, one thing that you're gonna need to be able to avoid that sand bunker that's literally right in front of you is playing with a club that has a lot of side spin. I'm using the Rock here, which does provide it. Another great club is obviously the Apocalypse and or the Quarterback. But as you can see, I am pulling, not only am I using the max amount of side spin on this ball, which more comfortably I would have used the Kingmaker, but I've got a lot of these Titans. But definitely you'll see how far to the right I'm curling this particular shot. So as long as you've got a decent place to bounce the ball, you should be okay. And this does provide you with the most direct shot towards the hole. Now, I happen to be playing with the big dog, which I do not recommend for this shot. I recommend the Sniper or the Viper, any of the clubs that have a lot more accuracy, because unfortunately the big dog does not provide it. Now, I used the best of my ability to get this eagle, but it's not something that you can commonly do with a big dog. I just happen to have it set up that way with the Rock. But this shot does work. It is a lot more comfortable on the second shot. You're not having to deal with the sand bunker and the rough, as you will see here on the second shot. And I do love the way this came in. Those are never bad, right? Now, on this second shot, you'll notice that I'm playing it a little safer. I'm playing it to the left. And the only thing you've really got to worry about on this first shot when you're playing it to the left is that edge of sand that you see right there in front of me, or in front of us, rather. And so what I do to try to avoid that is I do overpower the shot, but I pull it to the right as well, because I want to get the ball as close to the green as possible, and I don't want to end up on the rough in trying to do it. Now, thank God this particular shot, even though it hit great, I was still safe. It was still comfortably away from the sand bunker. Now, what I don't like about this way of doing it, playing it to the left, as you can see now, in order to slow the ball down, either you've got to use a club, a long iron with a lot of backspin, which at this level you may not have it, or, well, actually the Saturn does provide it, or you're going to use the rough to slow the ball down. And the problem with slowing the ball down on the rough is you're dropping on the rough right between 2 sand bunkers. Now, I wanted to show the wind on this hold so you can see it can be done. I had a level 9 of wind in this shot, and I still managed to drop the ball onto the rough to slow it down. But it does become a trickier shot. So I do, in my humble opinion, I recommend the shot to the right to make the second shot more feasible.